Hey mama, do you have a season in your life, maybe just a week out of the year, that tends to be the most stressful? Maybe there's something going on that week that just raises the bar on the stress, the anxiety, and it's an annual thing. Well, I have this week, and it was this past week. And so I'm sharing how this most stressful time of the year for our family, 3 birthdays in 7 days, actually has become one of the most fun, peaceful, and joy-filled weeks. And guess what? You can experience that same shift. I'm going to tell you what I did to change it all up. Let's dive in. Hey mama, are you overwhelmed by your full, blessed life? Do you feel stuck in the messy, mundane middle? Then I'm so glad you're here to take a breath. Hey, I'm Shan, RN, holistic wellness coach, and a mom to 4 that went from perfectionism, control, and lots of anxiety to intentionally living through simple solutions and so much peace. If you are done with the stressed out life, hot mess express type of motherhood, then heat up that coffee again and let's live holistically well in the middle. Let's go. For 3 years now, the baby just turned 5. This week of the year has been pure chaos. 3 birthdays in 7 days. It was exhausting. And even before the youngest was born, it was just the girls, and they had 2 birthdays in 5 days. It was nutty. So really, this has been going on for 10 years, minus the last 2. Because last year was so much better with just one little breakdown moment. And this year was even better. Now, last year, I was utilizing all of my tools and strategies and tactics to lower my stress level, but we had an unexpected car situation, which we know mechanical stuff can drive us over the edge sometimes. So that is a story for another time. But otherwise, for the past 2 years, this has been so much better because I've put different mental shifts into place. Before, I felt like I had to keep the house perfectly clean again and again and again in 1 week. I had to make everything look really good, Pinterest worthy. I love being creative. So this was something that naturally came out, but it was so hard for me not to get lost in it, not to get lost in Pinterest land. It's so fun until it's not, right? And then I felt like I had to do it all myself. I'm the mom. I had to organize and plan and shop and decorate and make all the food and do everything. And actually, the kids are getting older. They can help with a lot of it. My husband is willing to help. It helps lower my stress level, so then it lowers his stress level when we all pitch in. So before, I felt like I had to do it all myself. I also felt like I had to make the girls a special handmade gift. So before my kids are born, I make them all something very special for all 4 of them. Lots of things, actually. Until there's no more time left and I'm delivering the baby, I am just in this Pinterest land of making all the things because I love it. Well, that has stayed for every birthday. For boys, it was harder to think of something to make every year. So it hasn't stuck for them, but for the girls, I always just had ideas and things I wanted to make them. And so I would make them a handmade special gift every year. And because of all these reasons, I spent the whole week and the week before stressed, snapping at my kids, and not even really enjoying the celebrations of their birthdays and who they are and just their lives, right? So does this sound familiar to you? Do you have any weeks of the year that you're trying to do all these things and you feel like you have to do certain things and it lands you in a place of stress and anxiety time after time? Well, I'm going to share with you 4 intentional mental shifts I made to break out of that cycle that you can apply to whatever stressful situation that you have that's coming to your mind. So this year, instead of drowning in the stress, I actually enjoyed all the things. It was so fun. I remember going to bed before the first birthday and thinking, this is different. I feel very different. I feel like I've grown up a year, right? I feel different and I feel peaceful. And I actually am so excited for tomorrow. And it helped that it wasn't midnight. It was 9:30 and I was going to bed and feeling so relaxed and calm. And I was like, I have to share this with my moms because it was a mental breakthrough. Okay, so here's what I did. Number one, I say, because not just me, but we let the perfectly clean house go. I used to feel like my house had to be spotless before guests came over. And I mean, that was if they were coming over for a play date, stopping by to drop something off, or coming for a birthday party. This year, I just let it go. And so did my husband. I think we both naturally realized that this was not a huge deal anymore, and we just let it go. He's also working on managing his anxiety, and so I think he didn't want to care so much, and so he didn't, and it rubbed off on me, and together, we just let it go. We picked up, we did what we needed to do, we actually all together teamed up and said, let's clean the house for the next 30 minutes. All 6 of us were pitching in, and we got it done to a point where it was good to go. It wasn't perfect, and it didn't need to be. And then I prioritized, what mattered. We cleaned the basement. That was where the one birthday party was going to be at, and so the kids have been playing hard down there, so we picked it up. I vacuumed down in the basement, which I never do. So that was something. I made sure the bathrooms were clean. Our heavy traffic areas, I didn't clean them perfectly because they were just going to get messed up again that next day and the next day. So I picked them up, right? I didn't stress over them. Actually, one major sore spot in our house that is in a main traffic area is our craft area and our craft table. And usually we have to have people sit there during a birthday party, which they actually did. And I said, you know what? I'm sorry you're sitting amongst our crafting happiness, but we didn't make time to clean that up this time, and they did not care at all. They literally sat amongst the markers and the fabric, and they didn't care. They're family. They did not care. And I actually didn't care. There was like no angst inside of me that, I wish we had made time for that, because it was the girls' responsibility. They were busy having fun for their birthday. That's the last thing they want to do is clean the craft table because it's a chore for them. And I didn't feel the need to enforce that chore when they were trying to have fun and enjoy. I also want them to be stressed out that it's their birthday, right? So we let it go, and it felt so good. I actually just felt free from my inner Martha and told her, the kids just want your presence. It is a present for their birthday. They don't want the clean house. They don't need that. And so therefore, I didn't need it either. The state of your home does not define your worth as a mom or your effectiveness as a mom. Yes, it helps remove the clutter. You can do that, but not stress about being perfectly clean, because guess what? Kids can help with removing clutter. Husbands can help with picking things up. Everyone can do that, no matter your age. So that can be done with teamwork, and then being able to eat off the floor, it does not define your worth. So don't stress over it. We're going to sing like Frozen and let it go. Number 2, the second shift I made was I planned and organized the details in advance. Instead of scrambling last minute, which I work well under pressure. I work well when I procrastinate. But instead of doing that, I prepped. We planned it out beforehand. I asked the kids weeks before their birthdays, what is the special thing you want to do on your birthday? What is the special dessert you want to have? Where do you want to go eat? What do you want us to do as a family? Like, we talked about it weeks before, maybe even the start of the year, because once February comes, their birthdays are right after, since they're the first few days in March. So we talked about it a lot. We wrote out a simple game plan for each birthday. I also ordered decorations and supplies ahead of time. And really, this is only for one party. The others, we just did balloons, and we put up our reusable birthday banners that we use each year. And so we have these standard decorations, and I have a chalkboard. I write something, about their birthdays on it, and that's it. So very minimal decorations and supplies. And I delegated tasks instead of trying to do it all myself, which I talked about. The whole fam pitched in. And then I let go of the extra things that weren't necessary. I didn't make the girls homemade special gifts. It came in my mind a few times, but I didn't have anything I really wanted to make in particular. It would have only have been for tradition's sake. And so I let it go. And honestly, I don't even think they noticed, which doesn't hurt my feelings. It just gave me even more peace that I did the right thing. So Ephesians 5:15-16 says, "Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity." Planning ahead is wisdom. It allows you to show up with presence, not panic. Okay, the third mental shift I made was I set boundaries with the guest lists and the plans. Now, to be honest, never have I been a big birthday party planner. A few reasons I won't go into, but maybe you are. If you love throwing big parties, but it tends to add so much stress, you have to set your own boundaries and stick to them. It's like setting mental limits that you have for yourself, knowing if you cross this limit, your anxiety will kick in. Your sergeant mom is going to show up. So you have to set those limits. We actually had small, meaningful gatherings instead of big, stressful events. My one daughter loves to throw a party, so she invited only 6 people to her birthday party. She does all the planning, the online shopping, the organizing, and so she has learned over the years that the smaller it is, the more affordable it is, and the easier it is. So she set her number of 6 girls, and that's what she did. And it was meaningful and a lot easier and affordable, like I said. The third thing is we celebrated not at the house. So my 5-year-old wanted a party with his friends, and just like his sister had, but I knew that would cross my mental limits to have a bunch of 5-year-olds. I wanted to invite the whole class. You don't want to leave anyone out. And I knew that would cross my mental limits. So I told him we could invite a couple friends another time. But for his birthday party this week, we can plan to have friends at his favorite park, and we can play, have a special birthday treat. And we prayed for sunshine and park weather, and we got it. We showed up, we had an amazing play date, and it was the perfect way to celebrate a 5-year-old's birthday. So, question for you. Are you saying yes to all the birthday celebration things because you want to or because you feel like you have to? Is there a standard that you feel like you're living up to that does not fit you or your family and it crosses your mental limits? I want you to ask yourself that question. Okay, mental shift number 4 is I didn't neglect my holistic wellness habits. I used to, get so busy with things. I would skip my routines. I would go to bed super duper late. So sleep was very minimal. That actually was my problem last year where I had my one breakdown moment. I was exhausted. And there's other reasons for that. But if you can keep to your sleeping routine, that is going to be huge. I, would let stress build up in other ways in my body. And this year, I stayed consistent in my small but powerful holistic habits. Number 1, I spent time with God. I prayed. I spent my normal time. I didn't skip on it. I didn't neglect it. In the midst of the busy, He comes first. And I actually have a sweet birthday tradition that I love to do where I pray specific Bible verses over my kids on their birthday. I write a special journal prayer with God to them and about them. And so I actually had extra special birthday time with God all 3 times. And so that is number 1. Number 2 is breath prayer and deep breathing. Breath prayer to me is deep breathing and praying, putting together, and it calms my nervous system in between all the tasks. I even released a Breathe and Be Still episode in the mix of this week, and that forced me to do it. So it was a great way to add the breath prayers into my routine and to make sure that I made them happen. Number 3, moving my body. I continue to do that. I didn't skip on the gym because we were too tired. We didn't have time for it. I walked, I got outside, I got some fresh air. All those things are habits, so they just still were there. I hydrated and nourished my body. I didn't run on coffee alone. There wasn't any need for extra caffeine. Again, that goes back to the sleep. I was prioritizing my sleep, and so I didn't feel extra tired in any way. So there's that. And boundaries and rest. I just, you understand that you're not a machine and you can't do everything. And so again, we set those boundaries up, physical boundaries, mental boundaries, and we make sure we get the sleep that we need. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. The number 1 shift that I've been making and for the past 2 or so years and has really set in for this year is the truth that being stressed and burned out is not the way God designed us to live. And he's not the way he designed motherhood. The enemy wants us to believe that we just have to survive the chaos of motherhood, but that's a lie. Joshua 3:5, I mentioned this verse in a previous episode, and it's been just going through my head over and over the past couple weeks. Consecrate yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do amazing things among you. We have to be dedicated and living on this purpose that God has for us, not just willy-nilly, it's another day, let me wake up and do the to-do list and take care of the kids. No, each day is important because each day God is going to show up and do amazing things for us. He's going to do amazing things and miracles among us every single day. But we have to be looking for it. We have to be noticing it. We have to be mindful that each day is important. We don't get tomorrow. We're not promised it. But he is gifting it to us. He may gift it to us. So God isn't calling us to just get by and just live this motherhood life with busyness and stress taking over even half the time. He's calling you to walk into his promise of peace and purpose. We don't need more time in the day. We just need to be more mindful and realize and believe that time is a gift. So are you ready to break free from busyness and step into peace and purpose? I am wanting to invite you into the bold blueprint. This isn't just about managing your time. It's really about transforming your life. If you're tired of running on empty, feeling overwhelmed, and wondering if this is for you, then let me tell you a little bit more about it. Inside the 6-month program, you're going to learn how to find more time, steward your days wisely without adding more to your plate. You're going to learn how to reduce your stress and overwhelm, ditch the burnout cycle, and really feel what peace is like. You're going to prioritize your faith and your purpose. Align your life with what truly matters, your kingdom identity, what God has created for you, specifically you, friend, you to do on this earth in this one life. And then you're going to break free from guilt. You're going to learn to say yes to the right things and no without shame, because they're going to be your yeses. They're going to be the yeses that God has for you, not for the mom next to you. And you're going to build a holistic wellness rhythm and routine. You're going to restore your mind, body, will, emotions, spirit. Everything's going to be connected. You're going to build these holistic habits into your life. You may even lose weight. You may find more energy, sleep better, move your body more, all the things. We're going to build these habits into your life. And you're going to live with more boldness and courage. You're going to step into the life God is calling you to without holding back, because you're going to know your purpose and your calling. So what you get in this 6-month program is live group coaching calls for support, accountability. You're going to get a step-by-step blueprint. The course is a curriculum, step-by-step, broken down into what you do next. No guesswork, no more research needing to be done by you. I have it all laid out. You're going to find a community of like-minded Christian moms to support you. You do not have to do this alone. And you're going to find journaling and mindset tools to help you hear God's voice and break through those limiting beliefs and build strong neuron pathways based on truth. Bonuses like home systems for less clutter, meal planning for quick, healthy meals, guided kingdom identity work. We will use my wellness tracker and my belief card method as tools throughout the program to make these things long-lasting, holistic, healthy habits. Mama, you were made for more than burnout. Step out of that anxiety and that mom rage and that mom guilt. It's time to start surviving and start now. So the doors are open for the Bold Blueprint. Don't wait. This is your time to take courage and walk into the peace and purpose God has for you. Join today at www.theshanwright.com/bold. And I can't wait to see you inside. And your future self is going to thank you for it. You know what? Your intentions are a hill of beans. How about we courageously climb those hills together? I'll see you on the inside. And if this episode hit home for you and you know another mama friend who has a stressful week in their year or they're just stressed out, I know you do. Share this episode with them. That would mean the world to me. And I will see you next time. Shalom. Shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at @theshanwright so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.